This is homework that you'll want to do to practice scent detection on vehicles. In both CKC, so the Canadian Kennel Club, and SCDA, the Sporting Detection Dog Association, you can have exterior searches of either an area or one or more vehicles. Even at this most novice or started level, you will have usually 3 vehicles to search for 1 to 3 or more odors, depending on what level you're at. Initially, the way I was taught to do vehicles was to start on one end of the vehicle and entice your dog to sniff all around, especially focusing on high yield areas. What I've noticed sometimes, especially with my Doberman, she tends to bypass the car altogether. She'll miss an entire side of the car and needs a lot of reinforcement and redirection to put her nose back on the car. What I've done is I've looked at Cameron Ford, a prominent dog trainer and scent detection trainer in the States, and his method actually presents what he calls vehicle sniffs or car sniffs in a very logical manner, and also something that makes sense to the dog. Essentially, if we build the expectation in the dog that typically, at least in the beginning stages, every time they put their nose to somewhere on the vehicle, they're going to find something. Then that builds that excitement and motivation to want to search the vehicle itself. Instead of starting at either the rear bumper or the front bumper, which doesn't have as big of a surface area, it's actually more productive to teach them to search the side of the car first, and specifically focusing on where there are seams and openings that can easily hide different types of odors. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to set up your practice at home. We're going to start with one side of the vehicle. If you have your metal tins with magnets, these will work best. I would practice with all 3 SDDA odors: wintergreen, your thyme, and your pine. And I would also prepare blank tins with the magnets on them. And even though they are blank, I would still have an unused Q-tip in the blanks as well, so that the dogs really know they're working for odor, not just the Q-tip. I picked any odor at random. Thyme is very strong as an odor, at least for myself. And my eternal joke is that even if there was just a single atom of thyme left on this Q-tip, I would still be able to smell it because it's that strong. And typically what we do is we would take the tin, and then we would want to put it at the eye level of the dog that you're training. I'm going to put this right on here, right in the middle of the car. And that way, when I do give him the cue to search, he's going to go directly to the middle of the car, find odor, and then bang, he gets his reward. He will learn quickly that this area of the car is very productive and that it's worth searching. And then down the line, we add other locations to the vehicle so that the dog isn't only just searching the middle seam of the car, they're also going to detail left to right of this tin. Once you've done a few repetitions with your dog successfully, you're going to want to add a second tin fairly early on so that they don't become dependent visually on the tin to indicate where odor is, and that they still need to do scent discrimination and figure out which tin is the hot tin and which tin is the cold tin. You can choose left or right, but typically we try to keep it at the same level that the hot tin is at. And you can put it, I just put it on the right, but you can put it on the seam here near the side view mirror. So once your dog is able to not only understand that there is a blank and a hot, but also the hot won't always be in the middle of the car, then you can add a third tin. So this is another blank tin. You can put it on the left side of the vehicle or the opposite side of the vehicle from what you chose to begin with. I'm going to choose here. Then before we move the odor to the left side of the car, we're always going to be moving the hot tin, so left hand, back to the middle. So we can even put it a bit lower this time. And then the blank tin goes, and you can probably put it a little bit higher here. You do a few reps with them finding it in the middle. So the next step is you remove the hot tin. You take the blank tin. We want to put the hot tin maybe closer to the handle. I will put the cold tin closer to the bottom, and then you let your dog search the car. So they're going to immediately know, okay, highest reward history is in the middle. It's not there. Oh, I used to find it here. Oh, it's not there. Oh, here's something else. Here it is, reward. And what this does is initially it may look like your dog is disorganized, but really what you're teaching them is a pattern with which to search the car. What you're trying to get them to do is every time you tell them to search or find it or whatever your cue is, you do not want them to do anything else except search. This is one way to make sure that when you say your command, your dog is doing what you're asking. They have a way to detail this side of the car. And then after that, it's your choice which direction that you would like to go in to finish detailing the car. And in subsequent lessons, we're going to be moving these tins to the back of the car, the other side of the car, the front of the car. In SCDA, hides can also be in the wheel wells. They can be in the gas cap. They can be up to 6 inches underneath the car. And in the excellent level, they can actually be up to 4 feet. It's not only cars that you can have. I've seen school buses, trailers, tractors, RVs. So depending on what's at that 4-foot height, you're going to want to practice on all sorts of vehicles, but the mannerisms with which you train should remain the same. Once you've had the odor in the middle, the right, and the left, that is one session and you can conclude there. It's better to keep sessions short and sweet and end on a good note if you can. It really allows the dog time to consolidate everything. It makes it fun. They don't get bored. It just makes it even more of a high value activity for your puppers. So we have our pre-search ritual. All right, bub, ready to work? Find it. So you can see we kind of have our ritual of going to the front of the car. So this is something that might be new for Maui, but he's detailing the car. He knows there's odor here, and it's easier for him to search low at first just because he is a medium-sized dog. And now he's going to bracket. Yes, good boy. Good job. So the way I've learned is to do indirect rewards. So I give a marker and the dog comes back to me. That's because Maui has very good obedience to odor. But the other thing you can do is a direct reward. Shy? Yes. So you can feed directly at source. It really depends where you are in your journey. Some people will start with this method to really show that odor pays. And then you can add a duration marker. Good. 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 And so no matter what I do, I want him to keep his nose on it. So this is traditionally very hard for Mr. Maui. So we'll try. Find it. Good. Good. Try again. Good. I don't want him getting too frustrated. Yes. Good boy. Break. And I always let him know when the search is done. All done. And then we move on to the next. So next step is adding that blank. Find it. Yes, good boy. Very nice. Very nicely done. Yes, good boy. So he's able to tell right off the bat which tin is the hot tin and which tin is the blank tin. So now the next step will be to switch the tin's position and see how he does with that. Ready to work? Find it. Yes, good boy. So immediately he's able to tell that the tins are a bit different in the sense that one has odor, one does not. And he's searching. Yes, good boy. I was a bit slow on that yes there. But that's what we want to see. All right, wait, all done. Good boy. So I've added the second blank tin on the left side of the vehicle. I've put the hot tin back in the middle so that he learns that we still want to start at a certain position on the vehicle, no matter how many tins there are. And what you might see happen is he might go right to the tin, go to the right, and then go to the left. You might also see, depending on how the wind's moving or how odor is moving, he might just go directly to the left. I'm just going to let him do his thing because I trust him. He has very good obedience to odor. So if he knows where something is, I'm just going to let him show me. But I will be doing this exercise with Nairobi, who's not seen this before and isn't as strong with her vehicle searches. So hopefully we can compare and contrast. Find it. Yes, good boy. Well done. Very nice. Very nice. So no hesitation there. He knew where it was. Yes, good boy. So now we've moved the tin to the left. The middle is blank and the right is blank. They have not changed position. Maui, wait. And he's rearing up to go. You can see that. That's what you want to see. Ready to work? Find it. Yes, good boy. And notice I'm not really giving him any nonverbal cues as to where the hot odor is. As much as I can, I try to, yes, good boy. I try to promote that independence in the search because I don't want him relying on me or looking to me constantly for um, any cues. All done. Good boy. And that's how we start. And then you can end by putting the hot tin back in the middle. And then that would be the end of the training session. Yes, good boy. So we're going to try this with Miss Nairobi, who has never tried this method before, and her vehicle search skills aren't the greatest, we'll say, because she's more interested in what's happening on the ground. She's a great tracking dog, but we want her to also be good at vehicle searches. All right, Miss Roby Doby, courage cookie. Oh, yeah. Good girl. Are you ready to work? Find it. Roby Dub. So you see she needs a little bit more direction to search the car. Ruby, find it. Yes, good girl. So I pay on sniff. And in these cases, it's okay to approach the car and just generally show the dog where you want them to search. So there's no way for her to know that I knew that the odor was there. So for her, ready? Find it. Yes, good girl. So now she knows, and she's a very, very smart girl. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch around the tins sooner rather than later. So I'm just going to tie her up. Hey, girly girl. Ready to work? Find it. So you see she went right to the middle. Yes, good girl. And because she had an expectation, we induced actually what's called a prediction error in the dog. Good girl. She was compelled to search for the thing, and the thing here being the time. Find it. And that's the thing we want to avoid is the operant conditioning. Rub it up. Find it. Keep searching. Keep searching. Yes, good girl. Are we ready to work? Find it. Yes, good girl. So some dogs just need a little bit more of that guidance to be able to get on the right track. So Nairobi is one of those dogs where I do need to step in before she gets frustrated or, yes, good girl, or engages in behaviors to soothe her frustration. So sometimes when she is frustrated, often she does tend to sniff the ground. It's called displacement behavior. So we do want to avoid that in a scent detection setting because we obviously don't want the dog to prefer sniffing things other than what we're asking them to sniff out. Are you ready to work? Find it. And then we can just move along. Yes, good girl. That's it. Nice. Ruby. Ruby. Find it. Yes, good girl. All done. And then Nairobi's favorite reward ever is a toy. Is a tug toy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So this is the example of when we're ending on a good note. Yeah, I could give him a tug. Oh, yes, get it, girl. Oh, yeah, you win. So Nairobi is a prime example of a dog where keeping sessions short and sweet and having a really big payout at the end helps increase her motivation. She doesn't have as much of that internal drive to search as Maui does. Maui is very, very happy doing anything that gets him food. He's very food motivated. Nairobi really likes doing things that she wants to do, and ultimately her favorite thing to do is play with me. So she gets to play with me when she gets her work done. And at the end of the day, she's very fulfilled with scent detection because Dobermans are very good at using their noses. So I hope that was helpful to compare and contrast two different dogs, one with a bit of a higher inner motivation for the search, another one who's a bit more green with vehicle searches, and just finding different ways to motivate them. So let me know if you have any questions, and we'll be practicing this in class.